Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're going to be taking a look at this week's Sunday preview for next week's pre-orders. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, pretty much any Games Workshop tabletop war games. Let's take a look. A new battle box for Warhammer Age of Sigmar leads next week's pre-orders, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, here is the Warhammer highlights for the next 7 days. So you can go ahead and check that out if you want, but we'll take a look at the actual previews and pre-orders. So we have Echoes of Doom. This is the new battle box between the Skaven and Sylvaneth. So it has the little mini rulebook in it, assembly guide, some tokens. It has a campaign sort of book in it. It's everything you need to play, basically except for dice. So if you have some dice, you're good to play. It has the war scrolls with all the rules and everything for all of your units. This looks like a nice looking box. We did the breakdown on this box, and there's roughly $200 worth of models from each side, plus the starter rulebook and everything. So we figure this over $400 in value, and it's probably going to come in somewhere around $199, $200 USD. So about 50% discount. Probably one of the best boxes we've seen, at least of late. So another really nice box for Sigmar. If you didn't check out the exact breakdown on that, highly recommend you take a look, but it has a bunch of brand new models as well. Let's see what they have here. So we saw some incredible new miniatures for Sylvaneth and Skaven armies in Warhammer Fest Online, and a bunch of them are making their debut in the Echoes of Doom battle box. The sneaky Deathmaster is out to claim some leafy heads, while the Lady of Vines guides her Gossamid Archers to defend the Heartwoods. So we'll kind of take a look at some of these new models in here. The story behind Echoes of Doom sees Gracier Skritrat lead a chittering horde invade the sacred forest of the Sylvaneth to steal soul pods for his own infamous purposes. Alariel could not let such insolence pass without reprisal. A force commanded by her demigod daughter, the Lady of Vines, was sent to take revenge upon the Skaven. Along with the 42 plastic miniatures, the Echoes of Doom box set includes a box filled with narrative info, new rules for fighting in the Realm of Fire, and battle plans for follow the Sylvaneth's quest to hunt down the Ratman. There are also Warscroll Cards for the units in the box, and tokens to help you easily keep track of abilities in the heat of battle. Whether you keep it all for yourself or split it with a friend, Echoes of Doom is a great way to start a new Sylvaneth or Skaven army, or to add to an existing one. So yeah, again, here's the breakdown. This is your Skaven side. This is your Sylvaneth side. You have one new character never available before in this box, and then you have 20 of the clan rats, 10 of the vermin, Stormvermin, and then you have the bell, which could be built alternatively as a different kit as well, totaling around $200. And then again here for the Sylvaneth, we have 3 of the archers or fighters, kind of like the medium-sized treeman. We have the brand new character right here. She's pretty beefy. We have this dude, he's gigantic treeman, and then we have the 5 new Gossamid Archers, which have 2 different ways you can kind of or no, I think there's only one way to build those, but very cool looking models. And again, this is new model here, the character, and then also the Gossamid Archers. And then we've seen a preview of some other models coming soon. So really nice box set, loaded with awesome looking models and great value. So I will definitely be picking that one up. Next we have the Combat Patrol Adeptus Custodes. So for me, I think basically the breakdown on this is pretty simple. We've seen it once before, but if you have the bikes for $60 and you have the regular Custodian Guard, 5 of those for $60, that's $120. We know retail on this is $150. So you're basically paying $30 for the 10 extra sisters. So overall, I think the sisters, I want to say they were $50 for 5. It could be 60. Let's just say 50 for this example. So 2 of those is 100, and then the 3 bikes is 60, and the 5 troopers is another 60. So that's 120 plus 100. So we have 220 in this box, and it does retail for about 150. So again, a nice value overall over retail, and pretty fairly in line with what you get from most armies. Custodes armies are nice because they're also fairly inexpensive in comparison to most things. I would say with this box set, there's a lot of ways you could build it. Each of the 5 sister squads, or sister squads of 5, can be built with either the bolters and be a troop choice, which is really good for holding backfield objectives. They can be built with swords for close combat, or they can be built with flamers also. So they're really good and totally versatile. Their troop slot changes based on what equipment you give them. So if you give them the bolters, they're counted as a troop. So I think it's really solid to basically build one or two of the squads as troops, possibly even build a bigger size squad and then have one built into the character, because you can build one of those models into a Knight Centura. So that's a pretty good setup. They also have some anti-psychic defense. And then you have your bikes, which you could build one technically as a shield captain, but then you would only have 2 bikes. So if this was all you had, you would have to either go, there's 2 routes you could go. You could either go regular bikes for all 3 of them, or you could basically do like 1 or 2 shield captain bikers and then not use your last guy, because you're probably not going to take 3 shield captain on bike, but you could definitely take 2 and get away with it. But if you had 1 extra one, that would be ideal, just so you could have 1 bike captain character and then at least 3 bikes. But again, they're very strong units. And then for your 5-man custode troop squad, it's good because you have a lot of ways you can build this. You can build them with either spears or shields and swords. And then you can also build 1 into a Vexilla, which is a separate unit, or 1 into a leader, shield captain, which is a separate unit as well. So you can basically take 3 of them in a squad, and then you could still build a Vexilla and a shield captain. So out of this box set, you have a ton of options, because you get every kit has the ability to build an HQ option out of it. So I think the best way to build this is 3 bikers probably, with maybe 9 of the sisters with bolters, and then 1 character sister. And then you go ahead and do another squad of custodes with 3 models in it. And then you do a Vexilla and a shield captain. So you end up with a pretty nice blend. Now, obviously, if you're really into the bike captains, they are excellent. So I could completely understand that. But I think the best thing to do would be to somehow get a hold of 1 more, so you can still have the squad of 3 bikes, because the 3 bikes are really cool. Obviously, it's a tough decision between bike captain and the bikes, but really nice box set. This is one of the better ones too, because everything that comes in this you're going to use. Now, I don't know, most people, you could play an all Custodes army, in which case, you don't want the sisters, and that makes sense probably not to buy this box set. Alternatively, you play this set and then you want to expand onto it, you might not want another 10 sisters to expand onto it. Maybe you want something different. Maybe you want to save up for a Forge World, tank or dreadnought. Maybe you want to, add onto your something different. But I think realistically, you could easily buy a second one of these and have a nice force, because then you would have 6 bikes. So you could do like a squad of 4 with 2 characters, or a squad of 5 with 1 character. You would have 10 custodes, so you could have easily a Vexilla, a shield captain if you wanted, and then another 2 squads of 4, or alternatively you could have a Vexilla and then you could have 3 squads of 3, and then with the sisters again you can have a character sister, and then you could basically have more troops, or maybe do like the sword ones. You got a ton of options, and you could easily use 2 of these. Now Trajan is really good, so he's pretty much an auto include. So if I was buying this box set and starting an army, my next purchase would be Trajan, because he's pretty much just amazing in Custodes armies. So but really nice box overall. Over in the 41st millennium, the much anticipated combat patrol for the Adeptus Custodes is on its way. This box contains enough models to build a full army for combat patrol size games, and then some, making it perfect for kicking off and building on to your collecting of the Emperor's Chosen. Inside the box you'll find 3 swift and deadly Veritus Raiders. So yeah, I'm just going to skip over all this because we just basically talked about all of it. So next we have the Adeptus Custodes Blade Champion. So he has a couple different ways you can build him, some alternate heads and everything. I did a really cool magnetization video on him. If you did not check that out, shows you how to magnetize all the options, and eliminates the problem that you normally have, which is only 2 shoulder pads. Very cool. So last seen slaying vile Xenos cultists in the Shadow Throne battle box, the Blade Champion will now be available on its own for the first time. An inspiring HQ choice for the Adeptus Custodes army, the champion is a consummate swordsman who can effortlessly parry attacks and cut down any foe with the specialist fighting styles. This model includes 3 different heads, allowing you to choose between flocking locks or a stern helm. So again, very cool model. Was not previously available, only in the box set, and should be coming out soon. Probably going to be around $40. maybe 37 if we're lucky. Genestealer Cult Reductus Saboteur, again from the same box set. Previously was unavailable. Very nice looking model again. Also first sighted setting charges on Holy Terra in the Shadowthrone box, the Reductus Saboteur is an elite's choice for Genestealer Cult armies in need of a little extra boom. The Devious Demolitions expert has also best bombs for any situation, whether you need to booby trap the battlefield or destroy enemy vehicles. The model comes with a choice of 2 heads. One of them is heavily scarred. Handle explosives with care. And then next we have some Warcry. Both those characters are pretty cool. Darko Savages are coming to Warcry. These were previously only available in the box, as they are the Tarantulos Brood. So the saga-seeking Darko Savages arrived in the 8 points with the Red Harvest box set, and now are available separately for the first time. The warband cares only for strength and honor, and the kit builds 10 warriors rocking the barbarian chic look with a wide range of weapons, heads, and accessories. It also comes with an ability card and full set of fighter cards, letting you get stuck right in with taking names and heads. This is a really cool one. It has like a little like hag witch right here. These are basically like kind of Conan barbarian type guys. We see some really traditional looking ones. This dude holding the heads is really cool. This is like the old Hero Quest barbarian model. There are like guys and girls. This dude has like double claws, which is pretty cool. There's like spears and shields as well. Really nice warband. Plays really nicely on the tabletop. They have some cool stuff as well that basically they get better as they achieve certain things. So as they kill people, they become more effective at killing more people. So they can really build up some momentum, and they do really well against teams with a lot of weaker opponents because they can constantly like rack up those kills and gain all those extra benefits. Which brings us to their opponents, the Tarantulos Brood. They're much more fragile. Very cool models. They're like kind of worship the spider god. Very, very cool. But they have like 3 bases of additional spiders that fight with them. So they're one of the biggest warbands, at least from the Warcry specific ones. And really cool warband overall. Tons of guys, but again, very fragile. But they have a bunch of cool abilities on like multi-level surfaces and stuff like that as well. So very cool. Not quite as overall strong, I would say. Also skittering about the Varanite mines of Red Harvest are the spider-worshipping Tarantulos Brood. This kit builds a warband of 10 unsettling cultists with a variety of weapons and arachnid accoutrements, plus 3 skittering spider swarms. The box also includes the ability card and fighter cards, allowing you to trap enemies in your tangled web right away. So again, 13 models, so pretty cool. But they're kind of like their bane is sort of what the Savages are good at. So both the Darko Savages and Tarantulos Brood can also be used in games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar as part of Slaves to Darkness army. Check out the free Warscroll Cards. So those are pretty cool. And then they came from the set for Red Harvest. And then for... wait, am I thinking of the right set? They came from Red Harvest. Yeah, that sounds right. Or are they the most recent set? Oh man, I'm confusing them. Yeah, okay, Red Harvest. That's exactly right. They came from Red Harvest. I was thinking of Catacombs for a minute. So next we have the Ravaged Lands Scenery. So set your Warcry skirmishes amidst the industrial depths of the Blood Wind Spoil with the Varanite Syphon camp and Pit Dredger camp. Your fighters will battle over demonic machinery, leap over sluices flooded with boiling realmstone, and may even fall to their death off the rickety wooden gangways. You can arrange the terrain in these modular kits however you want, and even combine both sets to build a sprawling tabletop mining complex for your games of Warcry or Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Both boxes also come with a double-sided gaming board, as well as a full set of tokens for keeping track of objectives, wounds, activations, and more. So this is cool. They're bringing back like the Warcry boxes. They were basically like terrain boxes with tokens. So it helped to get rid of some of the initial barriers to entry of Warcry if you don't already have a bunch of terrain or you're not buying one of the box sets. So this is pretty cool. These are cool sets. Essentially, each one of these is half of the main box, the Red Harvest box. So inside the Red Harvest box, you get all this terrain with one battle board and tokens, and then all the books and everything as well. So if you were going to buy both these terrain sets, you'd be better off buying the Red Harvest set, because then you get 2 warbands, plus all your dice, plus your rule book. you would only get one board, but it would be around the same price. So it's definitely much better to buy the main set. Does that mean the set is going away soon? Well, I would assume it probably is going to be going away soon, because we've seen sort of like this transition. We don't know if it's going to be to new rules, which there's probably going to be a Warcry 2nd edition, I would imagine. So maybe new rulebooks and stuff are coming out. Maybe that old set's going away, and then they're going to replace it with the new set. And maybe the warband we already saw, or some that we haven't seen yet, are going to be the warbands in that next box set. But this terrain is awesome. I definitely highly recommend it. These box sets are nice individually, but if you still have the opportunity to, which you do currently, and you're thinking about picking up one of these box sets or the warbands from above, you're probably better off buying the Red Harvest, because it comes with so much more stuff inside of it. So then if we keep kind of scrolling down here, we have Black Library, God's Bane. Rumors of an ancient weapon are being whispered through the mortal realms. It is said that the once forgotten God's Bane can give even mere mortals the power to stand against the divine. Can such a weapon really exist? And if it does, who would be worthy enough to wield the kind of power? God's Bane is available in hardback. So it does not tell me a lot about it, and I do not know the story, so I can't tell you much. Horus Heresy, print on demand. The next 5 Horus Heresy books are coming to hardback on a print-on-demand basis. Each one brings us a step closer to the climactic siege of Terra. Born of Flames, in an anthology based around the exploits of the Salamanders, while Wolf's Bane sees Leman Russ see out on the seemingly impossible mission to kill his brother Horus. The Burden of Loyalty is an anthology of short stories taking in the action on Mars, Imperium Secundus, Prospero, and beyond. And the Old Earth tells the tale of the reborn Vulcan making his way to Terra. Finally, Ruinstorm sees Guilliman, Lionel Johnson, and Sanguinius make their own perilous journeys towards the Imperial Palace and the final reckoning of the war. These books will be available to print on demand until 6 p.m. BST on the 6th of June. And you can save money by grabbing all 5 together. So there's your books, print on demand. And then we have some Black Templars artwork. So this is an old school piece of artwork for the Black Templars. Very cool. And it will be available 3rd edition boxed set this came from. Very cool. Definitely nostalgic. Some Space Marine key rings. That is a Space Marine helmet on a key ring. Cool. And then Warhammer Plus. Looks like there is a masterclass on painting a Chaos Knight. Interrogator Episode 3. And some White Dwarf stuff as well. So very cool. Definitely another very exciting release. This stuff is awesome. I really like this terrain. The board is very cool as well. It definitely has a different look than most of the other boards that Games Workshop produces. So having a little lava and some different stuff going on is super cool. Definitely would recommend this. But realistically, I would just recommend the Red Cry set. Nope, that's not it. Red Harvest set for Warcry. Because it comes with all these guys, which are super cool. It comes with all these guys, which are super cool. And gals, I should say. And then also it comes with your dice, your book, and then your board, and all that terrain from both those box sets. So it is awesome. And we know these are probably going to be around like $60. The Warcry box sets are probably going to be around like $120. So the regular Warcry Red Harvest set, I think it's like $220. So it's definitely a deal getting it all together. And I already have all that, and it's all awesome. I can speak from first-person knowledge. Very cool model right here, the Reductus Saboteur. This dude is awesome, the Blade Champion. He can be very good and is extremely underestimated. So, you know, maybe if you're going to buy that Adeptus Custodes and start the army up, maybe you're getting the Blade Champion, and you're also getting our boy Trajan as well. That would definitely be pretty good. So there's definitely some awesome options. This Combat Patrol is great. I already have a ton of Custodes, so probably not going to be picking that up. But in the future, when I need to expand, I will probably be snagging that up as well. And then next we have all the new models. So we have the new Assassin. We have the new Sprites. And then we have the new character as well. All very cool and all inside of this awesome Echoes of Doom box. Definitely going to be picking this one up. This is amazing value. And if you are new or thinking about starting into Sigmar, this is the perfect jumping off point. I love that they started giving the mini rulebook, which is the full rules, but it's just a smaller book. It doesn't have all the lore and all the fancy other stuff. It just has all the rules in it. And that is great. And then it also gives you the mission book and everything. Kind of gives you some background, some stories, some art. but some missions to play as well. Very, very cool. And then you have your tokens. All you need is dice. So if you're watching this, you probably already have dice. So this is a great entry jumping off point, in my opinion, for Sigmar, as are all these battle boxes we've seen lately. And to tell you the truth, the value is amazing. We know like the Vanguard boxes for Sigmar as they come out are going to that $130 price point. So for $130, if you bought 2 of those, it would be $260. The retail on this is probably going to be around $200. So it's going to be cheaper than buying 2 Vanguard boxes. And then you also get the rulebook, and you're going to get like better or more miniatures in this, probably, or around the same as you are in the Vanguard box. So very good deal in my opinion. So that's it for this week. Let me know what you think down below. What are you most excited for? What are you not going to get? Any speculations on prices or anything like that? Always like to hear from you guys. I definitely am super excited for the new box. And then also, it's great to see more combat patrols coming out. Can't wait till everybody has the new combat patrol. It would be cool to do like some face-off battle reports, like combat patrol versus combat patrol, or like an escalation league using them if you were starting from, you know, scratch, building an army as you go each week, etc., or every couple weeks. We've done that in the past. It's been really, really fun. It'll be awesome to do that for video or battle reports. But that's it for this week. So let me know what you think down below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're into reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, Horus Heresy, pretty much any Games Workshop tabletop games. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.